G'day, parceros. I'm Sam, and this is the intro. This is the disclaimer. Let's go. I just got off a call with Swami Crypto, walking through the entire Elephant.money ecosystem, and as well as the Trunk stablecoin and the Stampede function. There's some big opportunity right here. I think it's still early. There's only 4,000 users in this ecosystem compared to about 70 or 80,000 into Drip, which is a similar and I would say inferior ecosystem. So here's our discussion. We talk about what is going on in the ecosystem as well as the best strategy for getting the most rewards as well as mitigating your risk, how often you want to compound and claim, all of that good stuff. Swami is a founder of AR Crypto, and he shared this play with his students weeks ago. Just from this play, the students have already paid for their entire tuition. It's a 5-week program as well as a 24/7 community platform as well. There's about 400 people in there who are very excited to have the skills that they do at this point of time. If you're interested in their programs, I've got a link in the description. You can book a call with myself. I can talk to you about what's involved as well as my experience going through the program, what you can expect, etc. So let's dive straight into it. Here is Elephant.money presented with Swami Crypto. Just by buying Elephant token with my BNB, I've tripled my bag in the past, I think, 2 weeks. So Swami, walk us through what is this play? Who's behind it?
Yeah, Elephant's actually been out since June of 2020 last year. And we actually got into Elephant at that point in time. We were early investors, but it took a while for the developer, his name's Bankteller, who's the former CTO of Fidelity, so he's no slouch, ended up coming up with a really genius way to generate passive income. And that's so he started off with just dropping the Elephant token, and now he's moved on and created a new token called Trunk, along with a way to basically create your own annuity. So essentially what happens is, and I have a YouTube video for this, for those of you that are interested, you could probably drop the link in there because I really cover this in detail, like how to get into it and what it really does. But essentially what you're able to do is Trunk is what's called a stable coin. So for those of you who don't know, it's a cryptocurrency that is either back or pegged to the value of the United States dollar, or a fiat currency, cryptocurrency. And so what happens is when you come in here, you have to buy Trunk or mint Trunk using what's called BUSD. And what happens is when every time a Trunk token is minted, there's a smart contract that automatically slices off 25% of this BUSD, and purchases another cryptocurrency called Elephant. Okay. And so this particular protocol is backed by two cryptocurrencies. It's backed by BUSD, which is, again, a cryptocurrency that is backed. This particular one is actually backed by the United States dollar. Okay, and then
where do we get that? Where do we get the BUSD?
So you would get BUSD. You can get it on crypto.com. I believe you can get it on Binance.us or Binance.com, depending on which country you're in. You can get it on PancakeSwap if you're in the decentralized world. So there's a whole bunch of places that you can get BUSD.
Okay, and then we'll transfer over to our MetaMask and then connect our MetaMask to this website here to be able to mint the Trunk.
Correct. I'm able to come down here. This is called Stampede. Okay, and this is called a perpetual bond, which means when I mint Trunk, okay, usually I mint a little bit under 1-for-1 here. So let's say I mint whatever, $100, I end up minting really like $99, okay, or 99 Trunk. Well, if I were to do that and come down here to this perpetual bond, and I were to bond my Trunk, okay, and you do it by coming here, And again, I have a full-blown video that shows how to do this in detail. I run you through it. Okay. I end up basically burning that $99. Okay. And the only way I can pull it out is 0.56% of the time, or every day, sorry, 0.56% every single day. Okay. Until I've reached this 205% threshold. Now, if I roll or hyper compound my crypto, my trunk, okay, what ends up happening is this number right here, this bond keeps growing, but see where it says maturity down here? Okay, so does this number as well. And so the idea is you want to keep hyper compounding, okay, into from here to here. So these are my rewards. So I have $73 in rewards so far today. So you want to drop it from here into here, okay? And what happens is you don't get charged any fees to do that. And when you do that, your stack that you grow your money from grows, okay? And remember how I told you, so right here, this is a result of 0.56% per day. So like, if you just saw, it switched from like 0.55497 to 0.5549 just a second ago, okay? And this number just keeps going up and up and up throughout the whole day. So this is like, this part here is liquid. So if I have this, I can either do one of two things, hyper compound, or roll my investment back in, or I can claim it and take profit. Okay. Now, my goal is to really, this is just one of our accounts. Okay. I have another account that's got about $25,000 into it right now. But my goal is to keep rolling this so that this number grows, because the higher this number grows here, the more money that I'm going to be able to take as a residual income. And let's use this amount, okay? Let's say $3,400, and I'm getting paid an interest rate of 0.56% per day for 1 year, okay? And let's say I don't touch this, and let's say I put in an extra $50 per month, okay? So I'm dollar cost averaging into this. Well, when I calculate this out, okay, that $3,400 ends up being worth $28,000. Okay, now here's where it gets really juicy. Okay, and this is the power of hyper compounding. Let's say by year 2, now I have $28,214. $28,214. And let's say that I want to take profit one time out of the week, which is 15% out of the week. Okay. But the rest I'm going to reinvest. So 85% of my gains that I'm getting, I'm reinvesting back into this stack here. Well, check out how this works out. So now what's happened is I've taken out $23,000 by the end of year 2. Okay. But my investment value that I'm withdrawing my 0.56% out of is now worth $161,000. Okay. Now, remember, I can't take that out all at once. That's not liquid. Okay. But I can take it out 0.56% out of the time. So let's say now, and this is where it gets real juicy. This is where patience pays off. I have this $381. And instead of taking 85%, I'm going to take profit 50% of the time. So I'm going to keep rolling my dividends, because you do have to keep a certain amount going. Okay. You do have to keep a certain amount going. And I'm going to stop contributing $50 a month, and I'm going to go ahead and hit calculate. Now look at this. By the end of year 3, your $3,400 investment, now you've literally taken out $286,000, but your stack is worth $447,795. So almost $500,000 at the end of year 3. Right.
Is this an ecosystem that can last for 3 years?
Look, this is crypto, right? Has Hex lasted for 3 years? Yes. Let's see what else? I mean, has Uniswap lasted for 3 years? Yes. So, you know, like for me, I take profit one time out of the week. Now, if this thing goes to hell in a handbasket by the end of year 1, at least I know I recouped a big majority of it. Okay, a big majority of my money. But there is something here. There is a caveat because the price of elephant is moving up so quickly. Again, there's what ends up happening is, and I won't get too deep into the tokenomics, but every time you buy elephant, which is from trunk, that's 25% of the value in trunk. Okay, a portion of that elephant gets also put into what's called the graveyard, meaning that money just goes into a wallet and goes bye-bye. Okay, so that's what's creating a lot of the buying pressure on elephant. And we can see this. Watch, let me show you. So we were buying this back in June. Okay, so look at what the price has done. In my entire life in crypto, which I've been doing this now for almost 5 years, which makes me like a grandfather in crypto. I'm sure you've been doing it the same amount of time. I've never seen a chart like this. I have never, ever look at this. I mean, this it's insane. And then here's the thing. So anytime you buy elephant, anytime you sell elephant, or anytime you transfer elephant, there is a 10% tax that is charged. Okay, so, and that 10% tax gets paid back to the hodlers, okay, in the form of what's called a reflection. Okay, so the tokenomics for elephant in particular are very similar to that of like SafeMoon. Okay, so there is that tax that you are taxed on the smart contract in order to avoid, you know, high volume sales and having somebody like dump on you. So it really makes you think. But you know, the idea is we're still so brand new. Like, check this out here. I believe the market cap for elephant is a little over 300,000. Sorry, 300 million.
Yeah.
Where is it? Yeah. So wow, it's gone up by almost $85 million today alone. So once this graveyard hits a certain threshold, there's enough money in the contract to assure many years of payments for the Stampede. And I don't have those exact numbers in front of me right now, but I have looked at it before in the past. So, you know, our bet is, and this is why we got to get the word out, right? Because it's all about network effect. If you don't have a network effect on anything, so what? You could have the best idea in the world, but if nobody wants to get in, you're kind of screwed, right? And we've seen that with some great, you know, look at like EOS. EOS had some really, really great ideas, but it totally flopped. It failed to meet the needs of the people, and inevitably no network effect. So it died. They're saying they're going to revive it, but whatever. But, you know, that's why I've been pumping out videos, because I'm like, I see the value in this. I see the value of creating this so that we can really come in and make a decent, stable income that's measurable and we can count on it. But we have to have mass adoption on it. We have to have a network effect. And one last thing, Sam, let me show you this difference here. So there's another crypto that was a clone of what Bankteller did, called Bankroll Flow. I got into Bankroll Flow very, very early on. But what ended up happening was Bankroll Flow was tanked by TRON, and the tokenomics ended up changing inflow, that just inevitably the project died. But Bankteller learned a lot from that experience, right? And man, I'll tell you, I failed in crypto. I certainly think you have. I think all of us have, right? So, but we learn from our experiences, right? So check this out. When we connect this wallet, how early on we are for this one. So remember Drip that I was telling you about? Or Drip, yeah. Drip was the clone of Bankroll Flow.
Yeah.
Drip has 77,000 users. And I'm not a fan of Drip because it's essentially Bankroll Flow 2.0. It does pay you a residual income, but it's on a volatile asset that, you know, can go up and can go down, and it could be worthless tomorrow. Okay.
And we've seen that. I mean, it ran a little run to $130, $140, $150 even, I think, and now it's back down to 30. So the daily payouts have plummeted. You don't see the same thing happening. I mean, the 0.56% is variable, or is that fixed?
No, that's fixed. And so is the peg to the dollar, right? But here's the thing. Drip Network, which is a clone of Bankroll, okay, has 77,000 users. Right now, we're just starting. And this is growing like crazy. Like a month ago when I got in, this was 1,800 people. Okay. This thing is just a matter of time where all the Drip people, okay, and a lot of Hex people are going to come over here. And, you know, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that we have Elephant in the top 15. Okay. Hex, which is weird. I don't know why they don't put Hex in the top 15, but by market cap, technically it should be in the top 15. And they don't. Maybe it's just a grudge they have against Richard Hart. But yeah, this is, once this thing hits, you know, I don't know, shoot, even 10,000, your Elephant token is going to be worth a lot of freaking money. And remember, you're getting 10% reflections on that Elephant. So that could also be a passive income generator for you, because let's say your token ends up, let's say 100xing from here. Well, you're getting 10% on Elephant, not 10% in USD value. So I don't know what the math breaks out to, but you're probably looking at like an APY or APR of what, like 1,000% just on your reflections in USD value.
What do you see stopping this? What are the risks here?
You know, just people decide, hey, this isn't for me, and enough of them do, and they just start claiming every day as opposed to rolling, and that's a possibility.
I mean, and what would really trigger that would be, I mean, I guess if they see something slowing down, maybe when that initial, you know, we get that network effect, there's massive growth. You know, there's 1,000 people a day joining, and then it starts trickling down, right? I guess that's when people are like, uh-oh, show might be over, claim.
Yeah, that could easily happen.
So to summarize your strategy, I mean, with that into account, right, to be ready for that, you know, how would you summarize your strategy in this play?
Yeah. So, you know, look, nobody ever got fired for taking profit, right? So this is crypto. There's risk in every protocol that you get into. Either risk that your annual percentage rate is going to go down, okay, to next to nothing. Look at Aave, right? I have some money staked up in Aave. I'm getting paid 0% for my Bitcoin right now, but I borrowed against it, and I'm, you know, using it in other investments. But there's the risk that here where you could literally lose all the value of your money. So you have to be careful. And this is what we teach. Like we're not telling you, you know, we're not telling you anything. We're just showing you what we're doing, right? First of all, we don't do the financial advice thing. But what we do is we show you like, look, this is the way we have our portfolios set up. Okay. So that, if trunk does go down, you're not completely obliterated out of the market. And that to us is really, really important, that we make sure that you're diversified enough. You don't want to be too diversified. I know people that just have like thousands of coins and they're like a hoarder, that's really not going to do you any good. But you definitely want to have a plan in place so that, if this goes down, you didn't just lose 25% of your entire portfolio. Maybe you lost 5%. You can stomach that.
Beautiful. So at the moment, it looks like, are you going, between bonding and, I saw a stake function, and then even just holding Elephant. I've started in this ecosystem by just holding Elephant. I've done a 3x from that. What type of ratio between those plays? And then it seems like with the bonding, you're rolling 6 times and then claiming once. Is that the rhythm that you're going to keep for the next 2 to 3 years on this?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, this isn't a thing that I didn't cover, but let's say if you wanted to keep your money liquid, and so instead of bringing it here, you can actually stake it. So there's this other window called staking here. They're paying you 69% APR. I think that turns out to be almost 100% APY if you're hyper compounding it and hyper compounding and hyper compounding. So this is a big deal. There's multiple different things. And the way I treat it is like this. This is my kind of been my strategy. I have Elephant, okay, which Elephant is kind of like my gamble in this whole thing. So I put the least amount in Elephant, okay. Then I have Trunk that I stake, okay. This is, so tomorrow, whatever, let's say the value of Trunk, for whatever reason, according to, the white paper, the Trunk cannot lose its value off the dollar. Okay. But for whatever reason, I don't know what I don't know. I'm not a developer, right? Most people aren't. But for whatever reason, if I need to liquidate this, I can literally just come here, hit withdraw. I have $26,000 in this right now. I would hit the withdraw button. And now I can come over here and redeem my Trunk. Okay. Or I could take my Trunk and sell it on PancakeSwap. And that's it. Done. I'm out of there. So this is a good hedge in case anything happens here. But this is where, obviously with this type of APR, this is where you really could make a good money. So this I consider like a savings account that's liquid, right? And then this is my annuity.
So what about a ratio between staking, bonding, and Elephant? Just as like a guide for someone to say, okay, that's a well diversified strategy into this ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would go like no more than 15-20% into Elephant. Have of that 80%, maybe I don't know, 50 to 60% of that 100% in staking, and then the balance put it in here. And that's what I'm doing.
Interesting. Beautiful. Okay, there we go. There is the Elephant.money ecosystem. A lot of your students have paid for their tuition entirely through just this one play.
Yeah. And we taught them this play really well, man. They our student, and this is just one play, evidently. There's other plays that we've gotten into that revolve around stable coins as well. That they've also been able to pay for their tuition. So this is just one play, and look, I like to keep things simple, and then I like to attack things and learn them and get obsessed with them when it's a good project, right? So we probably come up with 5-6 really good ideas per year. And have we struck out? 100%. Like one of our plays was the Axie Infinity Ronin wallet play. Could that have gone to the moon? 100%. It didn't. And it is what it is. So what are we going to do?
Yeah. It's about being ready for anything, having enough diversification to protect, but enough concentration to grow, right? So we're gonna have a link in the description. If you want to jump on a phone call, we can talk through like what's involved in the ARC education program that they have, helping people get their DeFi skills up to speed to be able to pounce on these opportunities early, because that is the key. The earlier you get in, the more exponential your gains are. Swami, thanks for coming by and sharing, dropping some knowledge.
Likewise, brother. Cheers.